1 2-second lag. All right, I think we're probably live. Hopefully we are. So welcome to Monday morning. We like Monday mornings, a fresh start on a new week. Hope yesterday was awesome. Hope tomorrow's even better. Today, though, we want to win the day today. So we're going to talk about how to do that. We have Destiny Powell on with us today. Hey, Destiny.
Good morning.
And she's a relatively new agent. I know you've been on here before. How long you been in business again?
A little over a year.
A little over a year. That's 12 months for us dopes. Put one under contract this week. Took a listing, expired listing, put under contract 3 days later.
Yep.
That's good. That's good. And this ties in many ways. I'm going to tell you a little short story too. I got a message last week. I may have even told you all about this, but I got a message last week from a buyer who had basically said, you wrote an article a couple years ago about how to get a good deal if you're a buyer and that I could text you. So here I am. And 2 years later, I want a good deal. I gave it to Amanda Farmer. She took them, worked with them. It's currently under contract. There's a 20,000 plus commission coming. So very cool. That's from obviously something I put out on social media 2 years ago. I got another kid, works for us. He wrote a contract yesterday on a property for a buyer that came directly from social media. Okay. I think Destiny, your person who you listed with, saw you on social media. Is that correct?
She did.
Yeah. So here's what I want you to know. I'm gonna pound it. I'm gonna pound this into you. The number one and best way to do lead gen is to actually talk to somebody on the telephone, knock on their door, have a one-on-one conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That is number 1, 2, probably 1 through 9 out of a scale of 10 is to have a one-on-one conversation with somebody. Then you got texting, you got email, you got direct mail, all that. And at the bottom of that totem pole, can I say totem pole? Is that at the bottom of this pole with things on it is social media. But just because they're at the bottom doesn't mean it's less. Well, it is less important because the other ones are better from efficiency. But it doesn't mean it's not important. Mm-hmm. And any good lead gen program will have social media as a item on its menu. And you're going to want to do it. Okay. Second issue, I just want to pound on this. Time on task over time. Anything you do requires you to do little pieces over and 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 over. You get this? All right. Over time. To expect big results in short period of time is gambling. To do small things over and over again is investing. And if you want to invest in yourself, in your business, in your life, show up every day doing a little bit rather than once in a while trying to do a lot. The results will be massive over time. But if you're expecting big results from small efforts, not so good. But if you're willing to put in little effort, consistent efforts over a long time, you will do great. Lead gen, very rarely, except for Destiny when she's on expired. Well, expireds are very good. They already have their hand up. I want to sell. That person failed. I'll give you a chance. But generally speaking, when you reach out to somebody, there has to be many conversations before the timing. And it's mostly timing aligns, all right? With an expired, you know the time's already aligned. With a buy owner, you know timing is already in alignment. That part of the battle. But in general, when you're doing lead gen, it's a timing thing. You're trying to find people who are at the right time for you to help them. And you're trying to identify when that right time will be so you can be there when it is their right time. It's just an efficiency thing, right? Mm-hmm. Social media just isn't as efficient, but it does allow you to talk to a bunch of, or at least put your message out. So Destiny, how do you do your social media? Do you have a schedule? Do you have a calendar? Do you do that?
I don't have a calendar. I try to do something every morning, midday, and then in the evenings. That's just the schedule that I have.
When you say something, what is something?
For my business, it's something business related, whether it's a funny reel, whether it's a video of an open house, something that I'm doing just listed, under contract. And then on my personal, I like to share my business stuff on my personal from my business page, but then something to do with my family or my kids, because they're always doing something crazy, personal stuff. That way I'm always staying top of mind.
Okay. So personal and business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Something every day. Do you know what that something is, or does it just hit you and you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that? Or is it scheduled out?
No, it's both. So there's some times where I have a reel that I've been kind of thinking on for a couple weeks. And then when the weather gets crazy, I can go out and film it because that's what I want. That's the headspace that I'm in. And then the mornings, it's just kind of whatever pops up. You know, I'll go through pictures and say, oh, I can make this picture work with this phrase, and tie them together and post it.
Love it. Let's assume not everybody's as cool as you and I. What is a reel?
A reel
That's
is
you and me for all you people at home. Sorry.
Yeah, a reel is just a short video that's real big with Instagram and Facebook right now that you can edit and have transitions with and add music behind it if you want to, do voiceovers.
Cool.
Short video.
Right on. And people like video, people like pictures, people like stories.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I would argue people love stories. And if you can make your picture tell a story, or if your video tells a story, you're going to be better off. If you're just rambling, that ain't cool. People will tune you out. Have a story, right? A beginning, middle, and end. If anybody else is doing social media on here and want to talk about it, please let me know. Here's what I'm going to give my advice, or what I've been learning as we go. I talked to a friend of mine. He's a real estate agent over the weekend. He's freaking out. Wants to do social media. Understands he should do media, but he's got high anxiety about what to talk about, how to do it, where to do it. Just meh. So he's not doing it. He likes to call people on the phone, which is good, right? You won the lottery. You're that person. Most people want to do social media and they get high anxiety about calling on the phone. So you're winning that battle. But he doesn't know what to. And I'm like, you do know. Let me ask you something. Have you ever taken a listing, or recently taken a listing, or put something under contract or closed it? Yes. All right, good. So how did that go? What do you mean? Well, the listing, tell me about it. It's 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 1,800 square feet. It's for sale for $350,000. All right, cool. Anything unique, exciting, new, different about it? Well, they got new washer, dryer. They got new roof. They got AC. I don't know, whatever. Right? Okay, good. And how much is it? $350. And if somebody wants to buy it, how would they get a hold of you? Well, they can email me or call me. Okay, good. Go ahead and write that out. And now you have a Facebook post. Stick a picture of it and maybe a link to the MLS. You have a Facebook post. Copy that Facebook post and put it in LinkedIn. Now you got a LinkedIn post. And then what you're going to want to do is probably copy that copy and stick it in a ChatGPT and say, hey, can you write a tweet out of this? And it's going to come back and do a tweet. Put it on X. Now you got a tweet, or an X, or whatever it's called. Okay. And then you just take that script and do a video of yourself reading that script. And now you've got a TikTok, an Instagram, a reel, and you've got 7 or 8 pieces of content off that one story.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just see his anxiety start to leak out like air in a tire with a hole. You know, it wasn't blowing out, but it's like, oh, okay. And then I think, then just do it with every listing, every pending, every price drop, every time you think of something. And that's all you need to do, because they'll get you started. Does that make sense from your standpoint, Destiny?
It does. I also think it's important to just understand that it doesn't always have to be so intense. Just tell your story of what you're doing. I got bit by fire ants putting my sign out a couple of weeks ago and stepped in poop.
Yep.
Made a reel out of it, and that gets engagement. That's what people want to hear is what's really behind what you're doing.
Okay, love that. That's so spot on. Here's the other thing. Just want to pound. I struggle with this myself. Views. Oh, I only got 100 views. Only got 500 views. Only got 1,000 views. Whatever. Don't make it about the views.
Mm-mm.
Make it about the content that you're making, because what's going to happen is somebody who actually cares or is ready to list or buy, or I don't know, whatever the hell you're trying to do, they're going to see you somewhere and they're going to go search you out. And when they do, you want to make sure that they're able to find a bunch of stuff that tells your story.
Right.
If they have to watch 31-minute videos, they'll watch 31-minute videos. I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. 3 hours later, I'll come off and like, oh, that was cool. Right. And if it is cool, it is. And if it's not, I swipe and move on to what's next. Right.
John, Gary Vaynerchuk, he
we'll call
talks
him Gary
about,
V. Isn't that what he does?
Gary V. There we go. He talks about the jab, jab, jab hook. And he says, get into a rhythm of one part positive, one part hobby, one part family, and then your hook is business. And he said, if it's all business, people are going to tune out.
Mm-hmm.
But do they see you when people watch you and they watch the rhythm? Do they go, oh, I like them. They're positive. Oh, they're like me. Oh, they have a life. Oh, I get their business. And he says, keep to that rhythm of jab, 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 hook.
Love it. Love it. Here's the thing. People like Gary V and who's the guy with the hair? The gym guy with the arms. Who's that guy? You see any of these social media guys. Remember, they're about getting views because a lot of these social media people, these influencers, are making money off of views, off of clicks, off of things like that. Unless you're a social media influencer, you're using social media to find buyers and sellers. Okay. Mm-hmm. Views don't matter. You give me 8 views and 7 buyers, I'm on board. Right. So think about when you put something out, be loose and breezy, the jab, jab thing for sure. But I would always keep in mind, this is a book on my library shelf about how to buy or how to sell real estate. And they're going to go from one chapter to the next by what it is you say. So be engaging and tell a story about how to buy or sell real estate. Oh, by the way, I'm kind of fun too. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, if you want views and clicks and you want to be a social media thing, that's different. Take your shirt off and dance somewhere. You'll probably get a lot of views, especially if you're holding a cat. But we're trying to sell real estate. Okay. So just keep that in mind as you do it. Here's the other thing. You're going to feel this urge to run to ChatGPT and come up with this program or whatever. I'd be very careful with that. Use ChatGPT as an editor, as a brainstorming partner, as a something like that. But people want to hear from you about what you did, what you ran into, what your experiences are. Because they can GPT them their own thing, right? Mm-hmm. They want to know about putting a sign in the yard and getting stung by ants, right? That happened to me. Here's what I did, or I'm trying to put in a fence, or whatever. Whatever it is. But it's got to be in your own voice, because if it's not your voice, you're going to sound weird.
Well, John,
you can become the dear occupant, dear resident. Yeah.
Think about, a lot of times we just post just listed or just closed or under contract. But if you turn that into stories and serial shows where you're sharing the process, people want to be drawn into that process. Don't just show the results. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And everything has an opportunity to tell a bunch of stories, micro stories.
For sure. For sure. The shortest story, what did I hear? I can't remember who did this. It might have been Steinbeck or Hemingway or something. Shortest story is, let me see if I can remember this. I think I've said it here before. For sale, baby shoes, never used. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
6 words or something. Mm-hmm. Tells a deep story. Julie, what do you got?
Sorry. Social media, I generally am not a pro at it.
I've seen you. You are.
I just do little walkthroughs of houses, especially if I see something cool. So like if there's an indoor waterfall or a pool or a huge wine cellar, I'll walk in there and, I'm cool enough. I'll just do weird stuff, but just something cool is because I'm not, I'm probably like the guy you're talking about. I have a little bit more anxiety, so I just do little videos, and that's that.
Start thinking about how you can educate or inform people. Cool being a wine cellar, awesome. But maybe go to Chat GPT. Hey, do wine cellars help sell properties? I don't know, whatever it comes up with. Then you can do. I was in a house the other day that had a wine cellar. It was really cool. So I GPT'd it. Is that a verb yet? Probably will be. To see if wine cellars add to the value. Or I called an appraiser. Does a wine cellar add to value? Turns out it does. $8,000, $10,000, $50,000.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
If you got
I
anything
agree with that.
interesting in your house, give me a call.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, because there's a huge variety. I had one where I was, and this is where I could tell a story, where the appraisers were giving a fixed amount for a casita. And the casita that my clients had was 1,000 square feet with a 1,200 bottle wine cellar. I'm like, the wine cellar was worth more than the appraiser was giving for the entire casita.
Wow.
I won't go there. Let's assume we're not all as cool as we are, Julie. What's a casita?
Just a separate separate structure on the property. So it could be, like an extra living room. It's a completely separate structure where you walk outside and go, it had a bedroom and a bath, or it could be a living room, bedroom, bath. It was huge.
Is it something in Phoenix?
Yeah, Scottsdale.
Do we have them in North Dakota? I don't remember it. Or Chicago.
Barnes, I think.
It'd be kind of a cool little video.
Oh, cool. They don't have fireplaces and wine cellars.
Mm-hmm.
It might be, you know what? A lot of people everywhere here in Arizona, we have casitas. If you're not from here, you might not know what that is. A casita is a.
I think they call them shouses, a shelter house barn.
There you go. There you go. Right. I would tell people what that is.
He shed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Condominium or whatever, a barn
Man.
dominium.
And
That'd be a great video, right? What is a casita?
Mm-hmm.
You're in Phoenix. We have them everywhere. The rest of the world doesn't. Jeff, what do you got? You're a master of this stuff.
I don't use social media at all. But I have a question. Do you wait for people on social media to actually contact you or respond to you, or do you interact with the people who view your posts in any way?
Destiny, you got anything on that?
Yeah. So when I post something, the best thing to do is as soon as you get that notification that somebody has commented, you get right in there and engage with them. That way, those algorithms are being built. So that way you are being fed more to other people. You know what I mean? So engaging with them as soon as they engage with you is a big deal.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Think about it this way, Jeff. If you're at a open house or some sort of an event and you have a table there that you're promoting your stuff, somebody walks up, says hi, you talk to them, right? Somebody walks in the door, you engage them. It's the same type of thing. It's just via social media.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start wrapping this up pretty soon, but here's the thing with social media. You got to have a call to action with all your promotion. Make sure you end it. If you have any questions about this house, or if you're buying or selling a house, text or email me, right? Or if you have questions about this specific place, text or email me. Personally, for my stuff, I always use, I have a Mofer, right? If you'd like our, what is the one we're pushing right now? Criteria. If you want our criteria worksheet, comment worksheet. That's to get our engagement up, right, Destiny? Or send me an email. And then I get all these emails say, hey, I want the criteria sheet.
Right.
Then you send it to them, right? That's a buyer
Mm-hmm.
lead. Okay. All right. So there you go. We're at 20 minutes. We're trying to keep these things at 20 minutes. We want to help you win your day. I think if you take this and start working, here's number, maybe it's the one-ish. We'll go back. I'll put a new number one, put everything back, pound in. The best form of lead gen, whatever it is the one you'll do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not going to do it, it sucks, right? If you're not going to call somebody on the phone, it's the worst. If you're not going to type out a social, it's the worst. The one you do is the one that is the best. If I had my ways, it'd be talking people one-on-one.
Mhm.
And,
And John, I'll add it's consistency with any form of Legion. Do it consistently. You can't
Yep.
let up.
for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. Anybody else want to add on that?
I would say the same thing as Destiny. It's whatever you like to do that. Set a goal for if it's 25 a day or 67 a week or whatever it is. I'm going to make X amount of contacts, and however you like to do it, and then add the other forms that you think might add. But if you like to call, if you like to door knock, if you like to pop by and give gifts, do that. Whatever it is that you like to do, do it.
If you want to pop by and do gifts, text me. I'll give you my email or my address. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's go make it a big day. All right.
Bye,
Go on the
guys.
go. See ya.
Hey.